Blue Daisy, electronic experimental music producer from London. I used to go by the name Request. My real name is Kwesi, and so I used to go by the name Request. But then there's another producer who was called Kwes Darko, and people used to get my page mixed up with his page, thinking it was like, you know, the remix page of his music, and people were just like, oh yeah, you know, we like your stuff, and we like your original stuff as well. I was like, what? In the beginning it was all good, because I was getting new fans, because this when I just started out anyway, so I was getting new listeners coming in. So it just reached a point where I thought, you know what, I need to just break away from that and come up with a new name, and did all the brainstorming in the world. Didn't really come out of anything until a day came where I was actually walking through my local park, Regent's Park, and I do poetry and stuff like that. That's my soft side. So I was walking through Regent's Park, and it was one of them, just like one summer's day, and basically just kind of like came across a bunch of daisies, just like, you know, in a batch on the grass, and just a batch of grass, and there was like there's one daisy which was like on a freshly kind of like planted bit of grass. I mean, it just looked fresh to me. The rest of them kind of looked like they were on dead soil, and this one was just like stuck in the middle, more or less in the middle. And for me, it's kind of represented like individuality within repeated actions. You know what I mean? Like a soul in his own, a product of his own, but still kind of like surrounded by environment and know what's going on around him in the environment as well. But not following the environment and not being part of the environment. Okay. Yeah, you know, and yeah, so Blue Day just came from that. The blue was from the blue sky day, and the daisy was from the little daisy planted there. The Sunday Gift, it's a pretty dark album, and I guess it was kind of like, in my life, I was going through kind of like a couple of, you know, situations which were pretty dark. You know, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you know, yeah, a couple of personal stuff that, you know, were affecting me, and through that I was able to kind of like, you know, protrude my emotions through my music. And yeah, that's what I don't know, it's kind of like, I mean, growing up in Camden as well, you know, it all has influence on the kind of music I do. You know, I grew up around a bunch of different kind of cultures, you know, from the street boys to skateboarders to freaking punks, and you know, all that. So it's like, me, yeah, I mean, just my surroundings definitely do have, like, play a big part in my music. Okay. Yeah. In general, what made me start was Kanye West. Yeah. It was like the College Dropout album that made me just want to kind of get into producing. And at that time, I was kind of like dabbling in the rapping part of things as well. So it was kind of like, yeah, I wanted to make music that I could rap on. And but as time went on, yeah, I guess, you know, I got introduced to a whole lot of stuff. My best mate introduced me to stuff like Pink Floyd, you know, a lot of the psychedelic stuff. Later on down the line, and I found out about Portishead, and I found out about Massive Attack as well, and yeah, so hearing all that kind of stuff just kind of branched my, you know, outlook on the type of music. I like to play with the audience. You know, I like to see how much they can really take. You know, like I got tunes that, you know, will, like, not being big-headed, but we'll tear down the club, you know. But I like to just see who's really there for the music. You know what I mean? Because like the club scene is, one day you're there, the next day you're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you could be on top, and the next day some next guy just come take over you. And I'm not really down with that whole, yeah, making dance floor bangers. You know, I want people to think about, you know, what they listen to, you know, take them down the journey, and, you know, get a true understanding of, you know, what I'm making. But yeah, the first gig was mad. I was playing the desktop. I started playing the desktop, man. I'm on MacBook now, but I went out with my desktop, my monitor, and was doing live shows on Fruit Loops. Yeah, man, and it was kind of like, for me, yeah, my first few live shows were my favorite, because like I was more or less making music right there on the spot, you know, just literally just making noise, and the audience are standing there thinking, what on earth is going on? Do you know what I mean? I've got an EP coming out, Black Acre, and I think it should be out in about a month. Bedtime Stories, that's a collaboration project with Unknown Shapes. Yeah, and yeah, it's, at the moment just kind of like doing gigs and shows. Yeah,
Cool.
Audio Doughnuts, 22nd?
Yeah,
22nd of June. Audio Doughnuts, Sample Crash, Civil Music. Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous.